Mumbai, Pune, Bengaluru or Delhi, where should I buy my dream home? Will it fit my budget? Which area is better? We'll get all those questions answered right here on Property Hotline on India's first property business channel, Magicbricks Now. Welcome to the show. Today we have with us Ashutosh Limay. He's the head of research at JLL. He will answer all your questions related to buying, selling and investing in property. So let's get started. I'm told we have a view on the phone line. Rohan, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to Property Hotline. Tell us what's your question.
Yeah, I'm looking for my end-use purpose. My budget is around 80 lakhs. I shortlisted a Central Noida 79 sector.
Okay.
I want to know which is the good project and what is the future of 79 sector connectivity with Metro or Delhi.
So Sector 79 is what you shortlisted and your budget is around 80 lakhs, right?
Yeah. I'm looking for 3 BHK.
3 BHK.
I think the section is quite promising and we have the extended metro route that will serve this sector. It's fairly comfortably located from the institutional and IT activity areas of Noida. So I think as a location it's a good choice. The price here ranges between 4,500 rupees a square foot to 5,500 rupees a square foot. So I think within 80 lakhs he should find a 3 BHK flat quite comfortably. Sports City is something that he can look at, and there are other options also. And I think in another 2 to 3 years' time, this area will become equally prime as the central Noida, say Sector 25A or Sector 32, the primeness that they enjoy today. This area can attain to that primeness in 2 to 3 years' time. So I think buying now makes a lot of sense because the rates are kind of almost half. The central Noida is 8,000 to 9,000 rupees a square foot, where this is quite low.
So you're saying in the next 2 to 3 years, it can go up to the 8,000, 9,000
No,
levels?
not really.
Okay.
It will not go up to that level, but the entry barrier is quite low for this area right now. And the promise it has in terms of the infrastructure, connectivity, access to economic activities is quite good. So in 2 to 3 years' time, it will become much more conducive for a very good high standard living, and then after that, it can fetch some appreciation. Nowhere in the country today, we are in a situation where we get a 2-digit kind of appreciation.
That's exactly what I asked. But then over a 5-year horizon, I mean, which is a fairly long time in real estate, what kind of appreciation can Rohan actually expect in Sector 79?
I think in 5 years' time, I think easily 25%. But much of that will come in the second half of that period. So first 2.5 years, I doubt any appreciation will happen. Substantial appreciation will not happen. And after that, once the demand-supply equilibrium is attained, then the appreciation quantum will be much higher.
Okay, so Sector 79 is a great choice from the point of view of infrastructure, from the point of view of connectivity. So yeah, Rohan, go ahead. You can expect at least a 25% appreciation over the next 5 years, right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for calling in. Let's move on. We have another caller on the line. Surinder Singhi is joining us. Surinder, can you hear me?
Yeah, I am here.
Hi, welcome to Property Hotline. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I am calling from Hyderabad.
Right, and what's your question?
Yeah, my name is Surinder Singhi. And I want to know the commercial space cost and rent and the investment and ROI, and how is the demand in commercial sector office space,
right?
And why this commercial space not given its due preference vis-a-vis housing sector?
I'm sure that's because of the amount that you need to invest over there. But are you looking at any particular market?
Yeah, I am looking for only commercial space, office space, and its cost and ROI.
Surinder, is there any specific location that you're looking at? What is your budget? Could you help us with those details?
No, I have exposure in this high-tech city of Hyderabad,
and you want to know what kind of rental yield you can expect in high-tech city, right?
Yes.
Okay. So high-tech city, Hyderabad, is a great location for
yes,
commercial
definitely.
space.
And I think that's where the entire IT development started within Hyderabad. And as you said, my advice is the same, that while investing in office properties, the entry barrier is slightly higher, and a wise investment is that which made over a larger area. So small areas, good developers will not really straight sell, and good occupiers will not like to get located in buildings which are fragmented with so many owners. So I think around 10,000 square feet upwards, if he has that kind of budget, High-Tech City is a great place to invest further. He says he's already invested there. And I think the rents there are between 40 and 50 rupees a square foot a month. Rents are going to grow because Hyderabad has very high occupancy, vacancy is very, very low. And with rents moving up in future, if he buys further today, probably at 5,000 rupees or 5,500 rupees a square foot, currently the yield is around 9%, but it's going to get better because rents are going to go up.
Okay, so what kind of yields can we actually look at? 9% is a fairly high yield.
Absolutely, and it states the situation of demand supply in favor of demand. So that means that good office buildings and spaces are going to find it very easy to find good occupiers. And they're not shy of paying premium for those properties. So I think two things that I'll advise to him is buy as large area as your budget allows you, and second, choose projects where developers don't fragment to small pieces for investors.
Would you also advise him to go for a pre-leased property over a property where he has to go around looking for a tenant?
I think if he finds such deals, great, because then the risk of letting the property is already taken care of. So those kind of properties are much safer.
Right. So Hyderabad, High-Tech City Hyderabad is already commanding a rental yield of 9%, Surinder, which I'm sure you know because you already own property over there. And yes, it's a great investment. It's a great asset class if you have the kind of money needed to invest in it. And if you're looking at High-Tech City to make another investment, then go ahead is what Ashutosh has to say. Hope we've answered your question there.
My concern is that since only few companies having large chunk of office space in millions of square feet areas like DLF, Raija, Hiranandani and all that, whereas the yield is so high and better than housing sector, where the yield is only 3 to 4%. Why not this exposure is given to others also? You know, if you can give that feedback.
Right, Surinder. Right, Surinder. We do keep talking about that on the channel, but as you know, it is not a very easy asset to enter into. The entry barrier is quite high. But thanks for bringing it up, and good luck with your investment there. Right? We have to move on. We have another. We've some other callers waiting on the line. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. Right. Let's move on. We have a question coming in on email now. Sunil has written in. Now, Ashutosh says that he wants to understand the Bangalore real estate market. All of us want to understand the real estate market. I don't see movement when it comes to appreciation. Do you expect any appreciation at all? So, Ashutosh?
I think Bangalore market, I would rate it really the premier market, top spot it enjoys, and it does that for a reason. I think Bangalore is the most rational and the most mature of the markets within India. And I think it's a lot more predictable because it follows logic. Developers there are far more mature and professional in their approach. The demand-supply equilibrium is almost always attained there. And that's why we don't really see ups and downs. The volatility is almost not there.
But at what rate has the Bangalore market really been growing? If you look at prices, at what rate are you seeing appreciation?
Appreciation is happening just between 4 and 5% per year, but I think that's a healthy sign for a market which is dominated by end users. That's always a good sign, because by end user demand, you know that the liquidity is good. So whenever you want to exit, the rental demand is quite high, and there is no bubble getting built up. So I think it's much safer, much more predictable and assured kind of investment geography.
Before we move on, any specific locations in Bangalore that you would want to highlight if he's looking to, you know, kind of invest or buy over there?
See, all corridors are good, and different corridors have different price brackets. So if he wants to enter at an entry level kind of market, then I would recommend him Electronic City in the south, Mysore Road in the southwest, or the Tumkur Road on the northwest, where prices are relatively low. If he has a slightly bigger budget, he can look at the Outer Ring Road area, North Bangalore corridor leading up to the Devanhalli airport. And if he has enough money, then Bangalore Prime always offers great locations.
Right. So that's a laundry list of locations that you've been given. In fact, Bangalore, like Ashutosh said, is a very safe market, and it's a market that's been doing pretty well. It's been growing consistently. If you can see, my team has pulled up the chart for Tumkur Road. Here you will see rates have gone down by 2.16%. That's because across the country, rates have stayed flat for the last 1 year or so, and which is why you're seeing this. But however, if you see the depreciation or the fall in the rates has also not been very sharp. It's just about 2%, which means, like Ashutosh told you, it's quite a healthy market. Okay, so let's move on. We have a caller on the line. Ravi is calling in. Ravi?
Yeah, hi. I am able to hear you. This is Ravi from Bhandup, Mumbai.
Yes, Ravi, tell us what's your question.
Yeah, actually, I have invested near about 22 lakhs in a flat near Ambernath, located in Mumbai. So it's a better investment to have, and the builder's name is Mukul Developers.
Okay.
Yeah, and the square feet they have given is 2610 for the square feet of area 667.
Okay, okay.
So I just want to confirm whether it's a good investment to have right now, or just I have to wait for more years to start the investment.
Okay, so is that a good rate at which he's getting the flat?
I think he's getting a good deal. I think any price which is under 3,000 rupees a square foot in Ambernath is a deal definitely worth looking at. But at the same time, I would urge him to consider and study the location, the track record of the developer, the legalities of the project. Because in far-flung areas, we see there are quite a few local developers or landlords who venture into development business, and they don't really follow the nuances that well. So having assured that these things are in place, I think anything which is under 3,000 rupees is a project worth looking at. Ambernath, because of the low base, can give you better appreciation in terms of percentages. So after the prices corrected last year, in 12 to 15 months time, they rose by 15%. Nowhere else they have kind of increased by that much of quantum. But again, word of caution, going ahead, it will be about 5 to 6% per year, perhaps 8% if the project is constructed well, and if the detailing of the project, the layout, the aesthetics of it is fine. I think areas like Ambernath are bound to grow, and that's the only corridor.
Will you see the spillover effect of the Kalyan Dombivli, the fact that MMRDA wants to make it another hub? Will that have a spillover effect on the Kalyan, on the Ambernath market?
And not only because of the positive steps that the government and the planning authorities are taking, that's definitely a pull factor. But where else you will find this kind of land with fairly good connections with Navi Mumbai and through Navi Mumbai to Mumbai, and to Thane on the other side. Otherwise, the entry barrier is simply too high for anybody to...
Right, and if you could pull up the chart again, if I could have my team pull up the chart again, if you could see that chart on your screen, Ravi, you will see that the average price is around 3,345. So at 2,160, you've got yourself a very good price. Now just do your due diligence, check if the builder is good, if the builder is reliable, and you should probably go ahead and buy that property, because like Ashutosh said, you can expect quite a good return on that property, right?
Okay, I also have one question regarding, I think a known developer.
Right, Ravi, make it quick. We have some other callers on the line, so make it quick.
It's regarding the Mohan Nanostate. What are the view you have regarding the Mohan group?
Would you want to take a question on a specific developer?
No, not really, because I think it all comes down to the track record, for which you need to do a micro market scan and the project track record. So I would advise you to interact more with the local broker community and seek this information from the developer himself. If he's good and if he has done well in the past, he will be transparently sharing this information with you.
Right, and Ravi, one quick thing you can actually do is just walk into any building that Mohan builders have, constructed, and ask people living over there. They will give you the best feedback that you could get, and for free, right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for calling in. We have Kiran on the line with us. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, Kiran, ask your question. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kanjuli.
Okay, tell us what's your question.
See, I have a budget of around 40 lakhs and I am not going to use that flat.
Kiran, could you be a little louder?
My budget is around 40 lakhs and I want to invest in a home. It won't be for my purpose, my end user. I'm not the end user.
It's an investment.
Investment, yeah. So I'm looking for area around, in and around Mumbai, like till Badlapur or till New Mumbai, and 1 BHK or 1 BHK will do. If it's in Mumbai, Dahisar, Mira Road, anywhere. I have no area restriction.
1 BHK or 1 room kitchen will do anywhere in and around Mumbai, but he doesn't want to go very far. 40 lakh budget. Yeah. I would love to know where he can find something like that.
Well, the question is open-ended. I think the 40 lakhs parameter, I think, helps us to focus on his requirement. I think it's next to impossible to get a 1 BHK within 40 lakhs. Leave the BMC area, even in Thane or Navi Mumbai, it's quite tight. If he goes beyond that, perhaps the Vasai Virar belt or Badlapur, Karjat, Neral belt, he will find 1 BHK properties there. But there is significant supply of properties coming in already. So while he will be able to place his property on rent fairly easily, if he wants to exit soon, he might not get that kind of return. Instead, I would urge him to consider another option, a different approach, where he can look for properties, and in local terms, they are called rooms in chawls or the cessed buildings, etc. Within BMC area. There he might get 1 BHK, some maybe, but 1 room kitchen for sure, wherein he invests into that, maybe the Pagadi system properties, etc. And then redevelopment is bound to happen sooner or later of those properties, and when it happens, then he probably gets 1 BHK in that.
And Ashutosh, in the meanwhile, I believe if you're closer towards what is called as town in Mumbai, the rental yield also would be higher?
Definitely.
In a place like that?
Absolutely. So I think he should seriously consider that option before he commits any decision of buying a new property in the far-flung areas. They will have perhaps better appreciation potential within the city centers, perhaps a different asset class. Chawls is not a very formal way of contemporary living, but still quite in demand.
Right, that's an interesting investment idea coming for you there, Kiran. Instead of looking for a flat in the outskirts, where you'll probably not see too much of appreciation because there's a whole lot of supply coming in over there, you should probably look at buying a chawl, buying a room in a chawl within BMC limits, where you'll get a better rental yield, and you also have the chance that the building will probably go in for redevelopment. Though it's a very long investment, but you do have the chance that the building might just go into redevelopment, and you can actually end up gaining on that investment, right?
Is there any other like idea which is like area is going to go under redevelopment?
There are several projects of redevelopment. I think it will be a long list of projects which are happening in different stages of negotiations and construction. So if you look around with eyes and ears open, just on your daily trip from home to work, I'm sure you'll find several of those projects. So just inquire with them, do the homework, due diligence, and go ahead.
But for a building that is going into redevelopment, won't homeowners anyway up the price?
That's a trade-off again. So not all existing residents are unrealistic. So while he will always come across those who are kind of building in that kind of premium already, there will be a few who have rational mind and who realize that if they were to sell in a certain stipulated time, it will get sold in a certain range of price only. So I'm sure he will meet a lot of those with high expectations, but he will also meet those who are realistic.
So essentially what, Kiran, your road to that investment is not going to be very easy. You will have to do a lot of homework. Now, even if you were to buy a new house, you would have to do a lot of homework. Though we did put out some price charts earlier on the screen. If you were looking at that, you would have got a fair idea of the prices in the areas that Ashutosh spoke about. And redevelopment as well, if you look at the chawls, you will have to do some homework, but it will pay off in the end, right? Okay. Thank you so much for calling in, Kiran. Let's move on. We have Munish on the phone, I'm told. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, welcome to Property Hotline, Munish. Where are you calling from and what's your question?
I'm calling from Bangalore. See, my question is like I'm looking to buy a house in Bangalore East.
Okay.
So can you just tell me what would be the suitable location to buy? And my budget is somewhere around 40 to 45 lakhs.
40 to 45 lakhs, okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking particularly in Bangalore East. And if you could just tell me what would be the suitable location to buy where I could get, maybe in another 5 years I'll get maybe 10 to 15%, returns from that property. So that's my question.
10 to 15% investment, 40 to 45 lakhs, East Bangalore. Where should he look?
Yeah.
Quite a few options, provided he expects 15% appreciation over 4 to 5 years. Any project will give that. But if he is expecting 10 to 15% every year for 5 consecutive years, tough to get. He should be clear what the expectation is. But I think Sarjapur Road and the farther stretches of Old Madras Road and the offshoots of Outer Ring Road, ORR, all are part of the East Bangalore micro market that feeds into a big IT activity zone. I think these are the areas where there are plenty of projects by reputed developers as well as local developers, different sizes, different budgets, different amenities. So I think he needs to really traverse that area to narrow down on something that he likes. It's a pure investment call because I've understood that he doesn't want to live in there, and he's looking at purely returns perspective. So look for properties which are accessible by public transport, where water supply issues are under control, because that side of Bangalore we see that outside the municipal limits, we are dependent on tanker supply of water. The Kaveri water has not reached.
Right.
So far these points are taken care of. I think there are plenty of options.
Look for clothes drying outside the buildings. Right, look for people actually drying clothes outside their house. That is a habitable location. If you look at your screen right now, you will find the charts up over there. Old Madras Road has actually appreciated 10%. Sarjapur Road has gone up 6% in the last 1 year. These are two locations that Ashutosh told you that you can look at. And there's one more location, Ashutosh, that you mentioned.
The offshoots of Outer Ring Road. So not exactly on ORR, which is largely commercial, but just off ORR within a kilometer or so, plenty of projects.
Right. So essentially, if you're buying in Bangalore, look somewhere around the commercial hub. Outer Ring Road is up there for you, around 9% appreciation in the last 1 year. Average rate is at around 6,200 per square foot. But you need to look at the offshoots of this, at areas around Outer Ring Road, right?
Okay.
Hope you got your answer there.
Yeah, I got my answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So go ahead, do your research, and if you have any more questions, come back to us and we'll help you out, right?
If you could just tell me like which developer I should invest in, what developer I should invest money.
Now he's trying for a shortcut. Ashutosh, do you want to take that?
No spoon feeding here, but Bangalore actually makes your choice a lot easier. I think Bangalore, the overall standard of developers and development is pretty good. So the overall risk level is very low. So rather than recommending names of developers, I can safely say that it's very rare to go wrong with developers' track record in Bangalore.
Munish, research. We've given you location.
Yeah,
right?
but the thing is like, see, there are developers who doesn't provide OCCC in that particular budget range, in that 40 to 45 lakhs range. Okay. So they don't, provide OCCC.
So, Munish, that's what I said. Go out, do your research, come back to us, tell us that you've shortlisted XYZ developers, and then we can help you with that, right?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Done.
Okay.
That's a promise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in. Let's move on. I believe we have one other caller on the line. Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. May I know who's on the line and where are you calling from?
Hi, I am Suresh Patel. I am calling from Mira Road.
Yes, Suresh. Tell us what's your question.
Okay, I am looking for 2 BHK around 600 to 650 carpet area for self-occupancy for my family.
Okay.
And want, very much connected to the Mumbai, particularly Airoli area, which is the Mindspace and all the new ITs that is coming. So my budget is around 70 to 75 lakhs. So if you can help me on that, it will be a great help.
70 to 75 lakhs, and he wants to invest near, he wants to buy near the IT area in Navi Mumbai.
I think what we understand.
Ghodbandar Road.
Yeah.
Okay. That is another option. You're looking at either Ghodbandar Road or Navi Mumbai, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I think both locations will give him enough options. Godbandar Road is better. It's developing fast, lots of options. It also gets the benefit of good connection to the western suburbs of Mumbai as well. So Borivali, Dahisar are not very far, easily drivable distance. And on the eastern side of it, Thane bypass and Airoli is very close by. Given that his present house is in Mira Road, so I'm assuming he has some social network, some connections with that area. It's always better to maintain and those intact. It helps. So rather than disturbing the entire setup and move stock barrel to Navi Mumbai, which is no doubt a good location, all right, but he doesn't need to do that because all along Godbandar Road, within his budgets, there are plenty of options available.
Right, along Godbandar Road, you should have plenty of options, and if you can look at the chart there, the average rate over there is around 9,040 rupees per square foot. It's gone up 1.86%, which means rates have stayed flat for a large portion of last year, which is the case across the country. But like Ashutosh told you, good connectivity, and it's also close to where you currently live, right? So you should probably be looking over there.
I appreciate your inputs, but there are certain concerns. Number one, most of the new construction is happening around, mountain area, which is a forest land. So it's very risky also because.
So you made up your mind, you want to look at Navi Mumbai.
Particularly I started with Godbandar because Navi Mumbai is far costly. 13,000, 12,000, 13,000 is what cost I am getting. 2 BHK, I am almost getting 1.4 crore approximately, all inclusive.
Right.
So it is totally out of my budget. It's almost double of my budget. But when I come to Godbandar, there are, as you rightly said, there are plenty of options, but it's very...
So I'll do this. I'll just repeat what I said to a caller earlier today. What you do is go out there, look for properties, shortlist some of them, and then come back to us. We can help you a little more, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for calling in, and all the best on that property search. With that, it's a wrap on today's show of Property Hotline. We're completely out of time. Ashutosh, thank you so much for coming in.
Always a delight. Thank you.
Right. Tomorrow, we'll be answering more questions on buying, selling or investing in property. You know how to reach out to us. In the meanwhile, stay tuned to Magicbricks Now and ensure you tune in for a special show, for a special debate today on society issues. Yes, if you're living in Mumbai and if your housing society is facing any problem whatsoever, do tune into our show at 9 p.m. and get your questions answered. We'll have a battery of experts in the studio answering your questions. Right? With that, it's a wrap on Property Hotline, like I said, but we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in.